New bike day. So I have the Windgoo B20 folding electric bike. In this video, I'm going to look at what's in the box. We're going to get it set up, look how it folds. We're going to go for a ride, look at acceleration, look at power delivery, all of those good things. So stay tuned. It's going to be a very in-depth one, and you can get lots of information. We can see just how good this little e-bike is. Now, first things first, let's see what comes in the box. Pretty big box. Saddle for the bootay. Box of goodies, and we have the bike itself. So what's in our box of goodies? We have the pedals. We also have the charging cable. We have a user manual with a little spanner, which I assume is a pedal spanner. We know what we do with user manuals, don't we? So now it's out of the box. Let's see how it all goes together. So for assembly, I'm going to assume the only thing that you need is a pedal spanner, because that is what came in the box. This is the first time I've done this, so if I have any issues, you will see them firsthand. Little shower cap I can wear later in the shower. The saddle feels super soft on first impression. Got a couple of springs as well. What a treat. So we've got a simple quick release for this, so I'm assuming that is straight in. Right, now for the pedals. Now, when you install pedals, it's a little bit funky on which way they tighten and which way they loosen. So you need to check basically. Now these pedals do have a correct way to put them on. So this one, for example, is a left-hand pedal, and that's as you're sitting on the bike, that is the left one. And as you're sitting on the bike, this is the right pedal, okay? Never force them in. They should go in relatively easily. And if you have to force them, you can cross-thread them, and then you are in trouble, basically. So just be careful with these. So pedal number one, this is the left-hand pedal. And there you go, you can feel that it gripped. So the left-hand pedal goes in the incorrect way, if that makes sense. So you are almost how you would normally loosen a normal thread is how you tighten this thread. So anti-clockwise is to tighten. So pedal number two, this is the right hand side of the bike, and this one is going to go in a normal direction, so it's clockwise to tighten. So basically both pedals tighten towards the front of the bike, so when you're putting it together, just remember that they always tighten towards the front of the bike, both of them. And the reason they do that is so that it doesn't come loose when you're pedaling, because as you're pedaling, obviously you want the bolts to be getting tighter. Now you can as well put a little bit of grease on the thread just to make sure it comes off. Don't have any to hand, but I'll probably go ahead and do that at a later date. This one again folds, there we go. You can just pull that out and it locks into place. So super easy for assembly. I always forget these little bikes have a stand. There we go, let's just stand that. So what else have we got for assembly? We've got a few pads on there protecting the bolts, nice. Tyre, so that rear tyre needs a pump. Front tyre needs a pump as well. Pedals are all on. Let's have a look at the brakes, see how they feel. And we've got this little quick release here as well, because they're not in the correct position. So that is correct, I would say. So tighten that up. How do the brakes feel? Brakes both feel okay. Right brake, so front brake is quite a long way to put in, but nothing major, back's fine. Alright, so we have this Windgoo B20 out of the box, but it's time to get a little bit nerdy. So let's look at all the technical specification. I have my notes so I get all the information correct for you guys and girls. So first things first, we've got 14-inch wheels. They're pretty small, but it's pretty standard on these small electric folding bikes. The tyres that come are kind of like a road hybrid tyre. They've got a little bit of knobbliness to them, but we'll see how they are on the road. So we also have mechanical disc brakes, front and rear, which is really, really good, much better than V-brakes or rim brakes, especially on a little bike like this if you're commuting in all weathers, etc. So really, really good to see disc brakes on a bike like this. Frame construction, so this is aluminium. Obviously we've got the fold in the middle. None of these bikes are super lightweight, to be honest. This is around 15 kilos, I believe, so it's not too bad, but not ultra light, but that's what you get when you've got a big heavy battery in the middle of the frame. One thing I have noticed is we've got routed cables through the handlebars. Now this is good and bad, obviously the cables are out of the way, but if you want to change one it makes it harder, and also that means that this handlebar doesn't go up and down, which isn't the end of the world, but it's nice to be able to put the handlebars up if you put the seat up, and vice versa depending on the rider height. Okay, so the battery is located in like the rear triangle, so to speak, which is good because it enables the bike to fold. Other bikes like this have the battery in the actual tubing, which means they can't fold. Now this battery takes 4 to 5 hours to be fully charged. It is a 36 volt 6 amp hour battery, and has a claimed 21 kilometer range on twist and go alone, so that's without you pedaling. So if you're commuting or anything like that, that is pretty damn good. So as with all of these e-bikes, the max speed is 15.5 kilometers per hour. That is the legal limit, so all good. If we can get that for 21 kilometers, we'll be laughing. So one feature that I really like is the integrated rear brake light and the front light, which is awesome. You don't have to worry about them. They run off this battery in the frame. Even better, this is a brake light, so if I pull the rear brake, you can see it comes on, and the front brake, you can see it comes on, but we'll test those properly later in the video. So this little green button isn't detonate, it is cruise control, which is pretty awesome because, believe it or not, twisting that constantly hurts the old wrist, so we'll be testing that as well, but I'm intrigued to see how this works. Now the max rider weight on this is 120 kilos, which is 265 pounds. So we've got the kickstand at the back, which is super handy. The bike just stands, and at the back here in the rear wheel is where the magic happens. That is a 350 watt motor, which is a good size for a little bike like this. Normally either 250 or 350, so hopefully it's got some oomph. First things first, let's fold the handlebars down, which is simply one lock at the front here. Okay, so you can see you've got this little locking mechanism, so this pushes in, so this can't fold down. So you've got to pull that out first, and then that allows you to flick the main bars down, and then they will just fold. So let's fold them down, swing them down. So onto the middle, the main fold. Now this is just a simple quick release, which we like to see. So that's going to come out. Now this can catch you out, as it caught me out earlier. You have to pull this up, which is going to release it, okay? So you pull this up, there we go, and then it releases in the middle. And then from there, we can fold, put the kickstand up, push in, and there we go, pop that down. And one thing I've noticed, we don't have a clip for the front handlebars, so we've got a bit of a swing, but it's not the end of the world. Now what we can do as well, we can push both of these pedals in as well if we like, just so that it's super tucked away and neat. There you go. And last thing, what we want to do, put the seat down. That is a simple quick release as well. So there we go, that is one folded Windgoo B20 e-bike. Okay, so I have been riding this bike for a little while now, and what is it like to ride? How does it feel? Is the power delivery good? I would say yes, it is pretty standard on these bikes. The 350 watt motor's got a lot of power, to be honest, so you twist and go. It's going to get you up to around 15.5 mile an hour pretty quick, and it will keep you there no problem. So no qualms with that. As I said before, we've just got full and empty on the indicator on the right hand side, and we've just got the twist and go. The seat does have little springs in it, so it actually feels quite spongy, surprisingly. I quite like it, to be honest. The only thing I will say is the gearing is really high. It's actually quite hard to keep up when you're going like 15 mile an hour, which is what the battery can do. So when you're going 15 mile an hour, your legs are just spinning and spinning really, so you're kind of at the mercy of the battery. I'll also mention that the brakes are really good on this little bike. Now when you've got two disc brake rotors and a small little bike like this and lower speeds, it is plenty power to stop you. So really good on the brake front, and both brakes have plenty of bite as well, so as soon as you press them it's going to grip. It's not hard to actually brake, if that makes sense, so you don't have to pull too hard on the lever to get a lot of braking power, which is exactly what you want. It just helps you stop quickly, stops in an instant. You'll easily lock up these brakes, so there's more braking power than you need. Okay, so I'm just going to do this hill climb. Alright, so I'm on a hill climb. This is always a good test to see how much power it can deliver. Now we're about 4% gradient. I'm pedaling as well just to give it some extra juice. and it's not too bad, I must admit. Oh, there we go. Can feel the pinch a little bit there. We're still going. Up the hill we go. Not too bad, not too bad. I mean, if you've got any major hills, you might struggle, but on hills like this that are relatively small, that would be normally quite difficult just by yourself. It's actually pretty good. And the last little bit. So yeah, not bad up the hill. Surprising. So not too bad up the hill. I am on 2 bars out of 4 on battery. Now these bikes tend to have more power when they're fully charged. It delivers it better. That's what I found anyway. So yeah, overall not bad. If you're commuting, you're not going to come across any major hills, are you? Well, hopefully not. Unlucky if you do. But this should help you anyway. It does make those hills, it kind of flattens out, if that makes sense, you know. It's still hard going up a hill, but it's much easier than if you were without a battery, without electric. So not bad. Thumbs up on the hill climb. Now we also have built-in cruise control, believe it or not. So that is just this button here. So what I'm going to do is press that in. And there we go, we're cruising. No hand on the throttle, no pedaling, we're just ambling along. So you can pedal as well. What happens if we pedal? So cruise control go? No, so we just assist the cruise control. That's a neat little feature, that. See if we can get some more power. Cruise. There we go, that's more like it. So it'll just cruise along for you, you don't have to worry about it. I like it, I can get used to this. Especially if you're commuting or if you've got a lot of long straights. Again, you can also do it, and as soon as you brake, I'm assuming it's going to cut it out. Yes, there we go. So that's cut the cruise controls. So that's what you want, that's much safer. Now I just want to take a minute to talk about the lights, because they are brilliant. They're probably the best lights that I've seen on a little e-bike like this. Firstly, they are wired into the battery, so you don't have to worry about charging them. Perfect. Secondly, they are really powerful, they are really strong. The rear light is also a brake light. I mean, that just comes built in. That's brilliant, and it's strong as well. When you hit either the left or right brake lever, front or rear brake, that rear brake light will come on. So I really like that. The front light is also super powerful, like it proper illuminates where you're going. It's not a light just to be seen, it's a light for you to see where you're going. So overall, the lights are probably one of the best features on this bike. And to be honest, that would be quite a welcome sight on other little e-bikes like this as well. So what do I think of this Windgoo B20 folding e-bike? I think overall it's a good bike if you are looking to commute or you're looking to nip around to the shops. You can get 21 kilometers on twist alone, and the battery life seems good, not gonna lie. So overall not bad. The only gripe that I have, the only thing that I would change, is the ability to raise the saddle higher and raise the bars up and down as well. If you could raise the saddle higher, I'd be able to get in a better position. For example, here when I'm on the bike at full extension, my leg is still quite angled. You'd want that to be more like this to get your full power, so that you can pedal as well as the battery. The lights as well I want to mention, because they are both really good, really bright, built in. You don't have to worry about them, it's perfect. The rear brake light is really good. That's probably one of the best features I've seen on these little e-bikes, to have an actual brake light. And again, you don't have to worry about charging, etc. So thumbs up there. Overall not bad, spec's good for the price, you can't really go wrong, I would recommend. And now I'm going to whiz around the park and have some fun. So I'll see you in the next video. Take care, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Any questions, leave them down below, and I'll see you in the next one.